Good morning. Welcome back to my channel and a quick how do you say it, point of view video. What are we doing today, I hear you ask? Well, first let me run you down what we've done this week. As you've seen in my previous videos, I drive a walking floor up and down this fair land, moving recyclable materials about, your paper, your card, your co-mingle, wood chip, compost, anything really. And do I enjoy the job? Yeah, I do. Some days it gets me down like everything, but anyway, today the plan is we've just got diesel at Tibby Shelf. Now I would say what we're doing, particularly this morning, I would class as locals. I have now got to go to Longcliffe up in the Peak District, and I'm collecting co-mingle, which again is all your bottles, your cans, your plastic tubs, anything that can be recycled I'll be collecting from there. Then I've got a half-hour, 40-minute drive back down to Alfreton where I'm tipping that off, and then I'm heading back to Longcliffe to pick up the paper and the card, and we're taking that up to Leeds where it gets processed. So I class them as locals today. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be a local day as well, because I'd quite like to get a reasonable finish. That's a nice shiny new walking floor trailer. So that's the plan for today. And can I just say a massive thank you to anyone that subscribed and took the time to watch my videos and my shorts, etc. Now, I've no idea what I'm doing with editing or anything like that, so until I work that out, I'm going to keep everything raw, just as I see it, you're going to see it. I'm not going to edit it and mess about with it. It is what it is, because I can't edit anything because I don't know how to. I will, there is a YouTube studio thing that you can put on your phone, because at the moment I'm only using my phone to record videos, etc. I am looking at getting a camera. I bought a DJI little camera thing, action camera, but it kept overheating. It would allow me to use it for probably 10 minutes and then it'd overheat and shut down, so I took it back to where I bought it from, and how can I say we're having a bit of a disagreement about it at the minute, because I want my money back and they don't want to give me my money back. So if anybody out there in YouTube land has got any recommendations for a decent camera, I don't want to spend a lot of money, you know, just starting out on this YouTube journey. I know there's a lot of truckers do it, but as far as I'm aware, there's not many walking floor truckers do it. I know of a couple whose videos I've watched, so I just think it'd be interesting for you guys and girls to see what happens to your recyclable stuff. Yesterday wasn't a bad day. What did I do yesterday? We went, yes, I know what I did yesterday. We loaded what they call mixed finds. It's all the stuff they can't recycle. It's glass, little bits of metal, plastic, etc. I loaded that at Leeds and I brought it down to Alfreton, where they can load it on tipper trucks, and then it's took away and it gets treated again, and whatever valuable materials in it gets extracted, and then I'm sure the rest of it goes to landfill. I could be wrong on that. We don't do the job that often. And then we did that, and then we went down to Derby, and we loaded at Derby, and we took that up to Alfreton. Again, just a local jaunt that was, and went in, weighed off, and took it down to Sherborne, near Sherborne Recycling at Coventry. And then after that, after I tipped at Coventry, it was a short, I don't know, half hour to Tipton. I loaded Tipton and I took that to Alfreton and I tipped it off there. And then, for once, I was actually parked up quite reasonable last night. I think I was parked up at 4:10, and it was a lovely evening. So as the previous short, I started to construct another Tamiya RC kit. These roads are horrendous. Now, I did a video about facilities for truck drivers in the UK, and the comments I'm getting are spot on, and I thank you all for if you took the time to, like I say, watch the video and comment on it. The facilities, in my opinion, are getting a little bit better. I mean, I stopped at Leicester Fire-Seas yesterday for a shower, and I went into the W8 Smiths and I got the key, which is like a little alarm fob thing. You put it up against the pad and it lets you in. And I will say, they've refurbished the showers. It's actually a complete shower block now for truck drivers instead of it. You still walk through the toilets, the men's toilets, to get to it, but it's a lot better. And I will say the facilities were amazing. The showers were clean. You've got a separate area where you can dry yourself. So a lot of these showers, it's a wet room where once you've had your shower, you know, there's water, you're just dripping water everywhere. But the ones at Leicester Fire-Seas, there's actually a step to step over to get into the shower tray, if you can see what I'm saying, and that makes it a lot better. The water, the shower was nice and hot. The sink actually had a plug in it, which makes all the difference. And we were, as truck drivers, we're not allowed running water, you know. We have to press the button on top of the tap and it gives you a wee squirt and that's your lot. But no, down at Leicester, it's an actual turn on tap. So you can have a good shave if you require one. And like I say, I was pleasantly surprised. They were really nice, clean showers. And outside in the corridor where you go in, there was a squeegee. So after I showered, I went in with a squeegee and cleaned all the floor, you know, put the water down the drain, etc. I like to leave things as I find them. Now, I'm not slating truck drivers, but some of them don't. We've all seen the horror stories on the interweb about it. But yeah, there's a long way to go, don't get me wrong. The facilities are still appalling. And a lot of people say, well, why are you doing the job then? Well, two reasons. I enjoy driving. I enjoy getting out and about. And if I can get paid to do that, then it's a win-win, isn't it? Yeah, some days, I'm sure my fellow truckers will concur with this, some days it's difficult, you know, if there's a crisis at home and you're a couple of 100 miles away from home, it's not the best. But on the flip side, like yesterday was a glorious sunny day, and the day before was, well, I was up in Whitby and Scarborough, and just driving along the North Yorkshire moors, dropping down into Whitby. The view when you drop down into Whitby on the 171 is it's a stunning view. You've got the harbour, the Abbey and everything. So it does have its plus sides. Yeah, there's a lot of negativity around the job. We have to put up with a lot. The dreaded DVSA. But again, you know, if you keep yourself legal, you keep on top of your working time directive and your break, your daily rest and your weekly rest, etc. You keep an eye on the truck, you know, if there's any problems with the truck or the trailer. You know, you've got nothing to worry about. You know, at the end of the day, they're only doing their job. Yes, it's annoying when you get pulled. You can be there sometimes for up to an hour. But you take it on the chin, you know. And the worst thing you can do, I find, you know, I've been stopped a couple of times myself. We do on this job, obviously. The Environment Agency like to know what we're carrying, and they're sometimes in conjunction with DVSA at some of the checkpoints. They'll come and say what you're carrying, so I have to produce a waste carrier's licence for the company, and then I'll show them the relevant paperwork of what I'm carrying, where it's going, where I've collected it from, etc. It's no problem. And I think 90% of the way those are with you is how you are with them. Now, I know they're hated, you know, but again, as I say, if you keep everything legal, they're as nice as pie. They really are. And at the end of the day, they're only doing the job. My experience with them, pretty good to be fair. And I'm not saying that just because I'm making a YouTube video. I generally haven't had a problem with them. They pull me in, they do the relevant tachograph checks, driving licence checks, CPC card, etc, etc. You do your printout for them. They'll take your card and disappear for 10 or 15 minutes, download all your information. They have a mechanic, he'll climb under the lorry and have a quick look round, check your lights, etc, etc. No problem at all. I've only ever met one that he must have been bullied at school because he had a proper attitude problem. Now, I don't know if he was having a bad day or he just didn't like his job or he didn't like me. But, yeah, in you come, Ernest Cooper. But, no, I must admit, I've never had a real problem with them. You know, like everybody, I run to the rules. Obviously there's the odd mistake here and there. I'm only human at the end of the day. Or if, you know, there's an accident, I'll go over my driving time slightly. But I keep a diary. I keep a big A4 diary for the year. And if anything like that does happen, I write it in my diary. I write all my jobs in my diary as well, what I've done, where I'm going. So it probably wouldn't make a difference if I was going to get prosecuted for driving offences, but it shows I'm making the effort. Go on, son, on your motorbike. It shows I'm making the effort to at least try and keep on top of things, which I think goes a long way. But as a company, as I drive for Eric Elliott Transport, we've just been sold. Yeah, come as a bit of a shock. I've been here 18 years, and let's just say the way it was sold was very underhanded. As drivers, we wasn't informed. It was overheard at a funeral what was happening, and the driver that was at the funeral pulled the boss to one side and said, look, are the rumours true? And apparently they are. A couple of drivers, one of the lads, he's been here 38 years, he just quit because I suppose in a way he felt let down. We all feel a bit let down over the situation, you know. Just be upfront with your drivers, you know, explain, you know, what's going on, and leave the decision to us whether we stay or whether we leave. That's basically how it works. I mean, I get it, Mr. Eric is 89, so he's probably had enough, you know. He's been in the haulage game since the 50s, and my transport manager, he's 78, so he's probably had enough as well. I get it, you know, people end of the working life, they want to retire and enjoy the rest of the days. I get it, but you know, there's certain, you do things a certain way, don't we? You know, you don't, I mean, there must have been a reason why it was done the way it was, but who knows. But anyway, we've been bought out by a company in Birmingham, and the company is On Point Logistics. Now, the first thing I did was, when I found out who it was, googled the company, as you do, and they specialise in general haulage, flats, curtain siders, etc., box vans, containers. Pretty big company. I got back on the Friday to fill up and hand my paperwork into my boss, and two of the new gaffers were there. I shook his hand, he welcomed me to, you know, On Point. It was a brief encounter, and I think the idea is they're leaning towards getting all of us walking floor lads back on a Friday, reasonable, taking us to the pub for a bit of dinner and a couple of beverages, and they're going to explain what we can expect. Now, we don't work for Eric Elliott, you know, and obviously as drivers we need to put our point across. I'll be interested to know your thoughts on it. So if anybody watching this has had this situation where the company you're working for has been sold, and the process behind it, feel free to comment below, definitely, because, you know, I'd like to get someone else's point of view on it, just to settle my curiosity. I mean, we're all loyal drivers, like I say. I'm not going to use names because they've moved on and it's unfair of me to say their names, but the other couple of lads on the walking floors that left, one was here 38 years and one was here 11 years. They've moved on to better things. Well, they think it's better things. To be fair, as a company, I know I've been treated like crap the way they've sold it, but as a company to work for, fantastic, cannot fault it. I'm left to get on with it, I'm not chased on the phone. You know, that to me says a lot. Now, my biggest fear is anything with logistics in haulage companies is trouble. So I'm just hoping that they realise that this is a different ball game. This walking floor is quite, well, it's a lot different to general haulage. I know we're only carting rubbish and other people's detritus about, but there's a lot more into it. So we'll see how that pans out. I mean, in one aspect, I'm glad I've still got a job, because at the end of the day, we all have bills to pay. Like I say, I'm just hoping that they've told us nothing's going to change. It's being ran as it is now. It's still called Eric Elliott Transport, but it's a division of On Point Logistics. It's the walking floor division. So they are investing heavily. That's what we've been told. They're investing in new trucks. So we'll see what comes of that. But like I say, I'm just thankful I've still got a job, because a lot of companies, especially in today's climate, you know, even the big hitters are, you know, they're going bankrupt, and it's frightening. The amount of companies we've lost over the last 18 months, it's shocking. But we'll see what happens on that. I mean, like I say, I want to interact with all my viewers. I want to build the channel. I'm never going to get to the 100,000 subscribers, you know. I just want to give my side of being a truck driver in the UK, especially on the walking floor side of things, because like I say, there's not many doing it. I know of a couple that are doing the YouTube on obviously walking floors. But I don't mind doing the odd local now and again. Myself, I prefer to get up the road and get stomping on a bit. And this new company, they have said that if any time it goes quiet on the walking floor trailers, that we will be expected to either get a curtain sider on, or a flatbed, or a skelly trailer, which I'm not bothered about, you know. Variety is what I like, so it's not a problem to me. So we'll see what transpires, but I think it's they're thinking of casting the net further and getting us even further up the road, which would be nice. I mean, they were talking Scotland, Devon and Cornwall, so I mean, whether it's all talk or not, I don't know. But oh, and yes, they're providing us with full uniform. Which, the last time I wore uniform, I was at Cobley Transport, and the uniform was just a t-shirt and trousers. But this on point, you know, they gave us a list, and you had to tick the box of everything that you needed. So, well, you know, it might be all right. It might be all right if it starts to. I'm just hoping it doesn't. Without trying to sound negative, because I've still got a job, you know, I'm just... Well, you had a blowout there, driver. I'm just hoping that it doesn't go down the route of having somebody in an office who's chasing every 5 minutes. I won't be chased. I can't work like that. I really cannot. Don't get me wrong, I do my job to the best of my abilities. I do what's expected of me. I expect to get paid. What we're doing here then, there's a few manhole covers. About time to resurface this bit just here, it's terrible. I'll just drive around the manhole covers because somebody's going to get a puncture. I wonder if that's where he's done his tyre. Yeah, there's another one here, look. Ah, that makes sense now. There's a manhole cover back there that's been dislodged while they're doing the... Yeah. There's another one with a flat tyre here. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good, driver. Yeah, I wonder if that's what's happened. Yeah, I'm assuming that they've caught that manhole cover and it's popped the tyre. It's unusual to have two lorries with two punctures. Blimey. Hence why I drove around it. Well, it's all happening and we're not there yet. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm just hoping it, you know, it doesn't go down the route of being chased around the country. I don't like that. I think if you leave people to get on with it, they generally will get on with it and crack on. I get that the company's got to make money. I understand that, but it's quite a big company, to be fair, especially the general haulage side. Regarding kit they run, there's the usual suspects. They've got some Scanias, DAF XGs, and I've seen some Volvos. So yeah, they seem to know what they're doing, we'll put it that way. And again, if anybody knows anything about On Point Logistics that I should be aware of, post it in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Again, with cameras, etc., recording equipment, like I say, I've no idea what I'm doing with this YouTube. I'm just trying to, it's a bit of entertainment for me. It gives me something to do, and hopefully it's entertaining for you guys and girls. So if you've any criticisms or suggestions that what I could do better, you know, i.e. what equipment to use, cameras, tripods, etc., what more you want to see, whether you want to see more of the, you know, the facilities videos or general trucking videos, you know, get involved. That's what it's all about. And I'd be interested to know everybody else's thoughts as well. You know, even if you're not a truck driver, let me know your thoughts on truck driving in the UK, you know, the attitude of truck drivers, you know, anything like that. Just comment, join in. Now up here in a few minutes it gets a bit tight. We're going up the Via Gellia Road. I hope I pronounced that right. And yeah, it does get a bit tight up there. It's not the best road to be taking a 45-foot Arctic along. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But it looks like it's going to be a nice day again. And I'm glad the clocks go forward on Sunday. I'm sure it's Sunday, isn't it? Which is going to make it a lot easier. I don't know about everybody else, but this winter, it seems to have gone on for ages. It really does. It, you know, with all the bad weather we've had, it doesn't seem to end. Thank you, Mr. Breeden. Cheers, man. But again, the state of the roads, is it, you know, is it the same in your part of the country? All these potholes and, well, you're an idiot, aren't you? What are you doing? What was that all about? This is the annoying thing, right? They cannot sit behind the big dirty lorry, can they? It's a 40 limit. Why? I just don't understand some folk. Do you know what I mean? On a blind corner, you've still got a lorry in front of you, so you're no better off. Anyway, you're the first banker of the day, aren't you, my friend? Yeah, so we'll see what today brings. Hopefully it'll be a good day. I do like getting out here. It's a cracking part of the country, isn't it, the Peak District? I'd actually like to try in the summer to get up here on the motorbike. Most definitely, or bring the Subaru up here just for a day out. A lot of bikers go to Matlock Bath, don't they? I'll go through there regular. We used to do a job up to Baslow, so we'd nip up through Matlock Bath, and even on a weekday there'd be plenty of motorbikes knocking about. Excuse me. I've still got the remnants of this cold. I had it for a fortnight you know, the one that everybody's had, and it was bloody awful. And I've still got the remnants of it now, a little bit bunged up, but it's getting better. But I just can't believe that green car down there. Why? I don't understand. He's not gained anything. He's still stuck behind a truck as it is. Oh no. You had to change, didn't you? Does anybody else play that? Traffic light roulette. You don't know when to slow down or accelerate. It's all good fun. But it's actually good to see nature coming to life, isn't it? You know, the grass is getting greener, the trees are starting to come through with the buds. I saw some cherry blossom. You've got the yellow flowers on the right hand side there coming out. I mean, they say there's snow next week. I mean, I can't see it myself. The beast from the east or something. I really can't see that. Now, I had a couple of messages about how I spend my time when I'm out in the truck, my downtime, my rest. Basically, if I'm parked somewhere overnight, i.e., let's say for instance I do a Stockton-on-Tees and I have to reload at Scarborough or Whitby. Now what I tried to do, I tried to get parked up reasonable of an evening, especially in the better weather, the summer months, etc. And especially at SEMA. Now where we load at SEMA, there's a nice industrial estate. You can park there, nobody bothers you. And what I normally do is I walk to the railway station, which is about, I would say, a 15-minute walk. Excuse me. And I catch the train into Scarborough. Now I know it's not the best place, you know, it's not on everybody's favourite place to visit, but to be fair, in the summer it's quite nice. I'll have a walk down there, you know, get the train down there, I'll have a walk along the seafront, I'll get my boys some seaside rock, and if it's a Thursday I'll have fish and chips and find a nice cafe and sit outside and have a nice coffee and just enjoy the scenery. I think it's important doing this as a job that you get out the truck. I have suffered with mental health in the past. I'm not going to go into it because I'm coming out the other side of it now, with the help of some really good friends that I've met on Twitter. And I think it's important for your own well-being to get out the truck, even if it's a 10-15 minute walk just up the road and back. I can't emphasise that enough. Get out of the truck. You know, you spend all day in it, you're going to spend all night in it. Break the cycle, you know, just go for a little walk. Even if you walk up to the local McDonald's and get a coffee and walk back, not only is it good for the mind, it's good for the body as well, you know. And as I said, I spend some of my downtime, I build to order Tamiya RC cars, trucks, etc. So let's just say little Johnny gets an RC car for Christmas. It's a kit, he don't know how to build it. People contact me and they pay me to build it for them. And I also have a collection of my own. As the short that I uploaded yesterday, I've got a Toyota pickup truck to do, and all I do, if I'm not in Scarborough or anywhere interesting where I want to go and investigate the places that I'm stopping overnight, or if the weather's crap, I'll get my nose into that for a couple of hours. It's just the release, isn't it? Because we all know point of case with that green car just there. You know, some people do stress you out on these roads. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I probably stress people out or upset folk, but you know, we all know what today's traffic situations are like. It's shite. It really is shite. But that's what I do. You know, I think it's important to have. Oh, shut up. I think it's important to have. To switch off from the job. I've got a friend of mine, he's on general haulage, and to be fair, the boss does push him, but how can I say this without sounding like an arse? He needs pushing, that's all I'm going to say. He's a lovely lad, I've known him many years, but he just doesn't grasp it. Hence why where he works the gaffer's pushing him all the time. You know, at the end of the day, if the truck's not making money, then you know you ain't going to get no wages. That's long and short of it. But he'll learn, you know, he'll learn that he's been off the road for a couple of years and he's just got back into it. So I'm sure he'll sort it. So here we go. This is the notorious Via Gela Road. Now what they did here a couple of months ago, they were cutting down a lot of trees because of this ash dieback. I'm sure that's what it's called. So this road was actually closed. So there was quite a lengthy diversion, to be fair. Morning, driver. Thank you, sir. Come on, Mr. Breeden. It involved near enough going up into Ashbourne and using a back roads to get where I need to be at Longcliffe. And it added a good 40 minutes to the journey. So it wasn't the best, but you know, these things happen. And when you come up in, I mean, this is stunning in the summer. If you can imagine this with all the trees that got leaves on, etc. Now what we have to do here, we have to tippy toe around here because some of these tipper drivers take no prisoners. Yeah. I actually had an accident up on this corner. I'll show you where it was. It is very tight. You can see where they've cut all the trees back. Ash dieback. That's what they were saying. The trees were full. The trees weren't safe. So this corner here is where it all went wrong for me one morning. I was coming this way as I normally do, and it is tight. You can see it's tight. You get a lorry coming the other way, you have to mount the curb. Now I came around that corner back there, the speed I'm doing now, 15-16 mile an hour, and a tractor come the other way. And when I say he was knocking on a bit, he was knocking on, and he saw me. He obviously panicked. Here we go, look, this is a case in point just here. It does get tight. So if I stop here, fuck me. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. K&H of Bakewell, you legend. As you can see, it gets a bit tight in there. Anyway, what I was saying, yeah, I came round that corner back there, and when I say the tractor was nipping on a bit, he was nipping on. He saw me come round the corner, the roads were greasy. He hit the brakes, he panicked to hit the brakes, and he jackknifed the tractor. And it hit the back of the tractor unit, round the rear wheels, smashed all the wheel arch off, the rear lights, did a bit of damage to the trailer. And the first thing he said when he got out was, "You were on my side of the road," which I clearly wasn't. And I said to him, "All right, no problem, if you're going to say that." I've got a complete 360 camera system on the truck. We'll review the footage. As soon as I said camera system, he says, "Oh no, mate, it was my fault. I was going too quick." Blah 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 blah. But the funny thing was, that was on the Wednesday. I was due at Truckfest on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it was a mad rush for my boss to get the parts together to fix my truck so I could attend Truckfest. It got done, and apparently the farmer paid for all the parts and he paid for all the labour to have it fixed. So it was all good, but yeah, it wasn't the best. Especially a couple of days before Truckfest, that was the funny thing. But yeah, this is a notorious stretcher. I bet it's fantastic on a motorbike or in a nice fast car, but when you're trying to thread one of these through, it can get a bit trick, as you saw back there. I mean, there's many roads. Yeah. On this walking floor, we get sent to some right random places. You cannot imagine some of them, where you think to yourself, how the hell am I going to get in, up that road? But you know, I like the challenges. I like the challenges that doing this as a job brings up every day. You can have a day where nothing goes wrong. You can have a blinding day where you get to your deliveries, you get tipped straight the way, you get to the collections, you get loaded straight the way, and it all falls into place. But on the other hand, you could have days where everything goes tits up. There could be accidents, roadworks, bad weather, etc. But yeah, it's not a bad old job. But like I say, I'm not going to edit anything for two reasons. I don't know how to edit. And I think it's important to leave things raw, if you see what I'm trying to say. I want my videos to be as honest as I can. If I'm having a excuse me, if I'm having a crap day and a shitty day, I'll tell you I'm having a crap day and a shitty day. It's not all rock and roll and having pants thrown at you. It's not. But I'll also tell you when I'm having a good day. Now I know today's going to be a good day because I'm not that busy today, to be fair. And whatever I'm doing tomorrow, I want to be loaded today or tonight, ready for the morning. Because we all know foot down Friday's a thing. Because when I park the truck up, I have an hour and a half commute home to where I live. So the earlier I get finished on a Friday benefits me. So I have got a 15 hour day left if I need it. I try not to use them. For two reasons. Why should I? 13 hours is enough, but sometimes it's out of your control and you have to use the 15. I will use one when it benefits me. If I want to get done reasonable, then we'll crack on a bit. So I mean, this is tight here. You've got a wall down the passenger side there that you can see, so you have to be a bit cautious with that. You see where they've cut all the trees, especially this bit. This was covered in trees. This was all overhanging trees. I mean, it's sad, but nobody wants a tree falling on them, do they? I think it was a safety thing that they did it, because all the trees were dying. It's ash dieback. And I would absolutely love to live in that little cottage there, look. That'd do me, that would. So yeah, we'll crack on today and we'll see what's what. Like I say, I don't envisage too many problems today. We'll see. Well, there we go. Okay, let's go. Yeah, and I'm not sure what they're doing here, whether they're doing a bit of, oh, they replace the retaining wall there, look, that's fell down, so yeah. Keep your elbows in, Mr. Waters, thank you very much, sir. Crack on, driver. That's the tight bit done now, so another 5 minutes will be where we need to be. Now the only problem with this job, the chap who loads me with the machine, he doesn't come in until 7:30, which kind of puts you behind a bit. I don't mind it on a Thursday, but on a Friday, like I said, I want to get done and crack on. But for anybody that knows the Peak District, this is the old Longcliffe Quarries up here. Yeah. That's Ben Bennett's quarry there. Ben Bennett Jr., whatever he's called now. And then a little bit further up here on the left hand side is the Longcliffe Quarry. I'm not sure, I think it's a limestone quarry, judging by all the white dust at the side of the road. Yeah, so I'm sure it is. I'm sure that's, is it limestone? Calcium carbonates, whatever they are. I have no idea. But yeah, so now the road's opened up nicely, we can get on a bit. And we're nearly there. So like I say, if you've any suggestions about what I could do better, I'm just starting this out, you know. I appreciate all the subscribers that have come on board. I do appreciate it. So if you're not already, I know it sounds really cheesy, but if you could like and subscribe to this channel, it pushes it out there, doesn't it? You know, and I can start to do more content regarding me, my downtime as well when I'm at home. You know, I want to include some videos of my motorbikes and my cars, etc. Might do a bit on the RC side of things. If that's what you want to see, obviously drop a comment down below. And yeah, we'll get this channel rocking on a bit, because I enjoy it. It gives me something to do. It gives me a focus just now. So here we are, this is where we collected today. Like I said, we're going to come back later and do the cardboard. So we'll pull up because there's still some dustbin lorries tipping and doing and what have you. So the best thing I can do is wait out here for a minute or two until he calls me in. There we go, that makes it a bit better because there's not a lot of room in there. Yeah, so yeah, you know, if there's anything, got a brew, if there's anything you want to see, or something that I could do better, I will try and learn to edit these videos, obviously. But like I say, I've no idea what I'm doing. Me and computers don't get on, we tend to fall out a lot. But if there's anything that you want to see, i.e. more of the walking floor side of things, you want to see more what I've just done now, the point of view videos, or anything, you know, anything that I could do to improve the channel, make the videos better, drop a comment down below, because I'm all new to it. To be fair. And also advice on cameras, you know, camera equipment, what I need to buy. Like I say, I don't really want to go down the road of buying the camera I had before, because it was crap. It lasted 5 minutes and it overheats every 5 minutes. It's not the best. But there we are. I just thought I'd do that little video just to see how it turns out, and I'll await your feedback. I may be here sometime waiting to get in here, but it is what it is. Like I say, you know, this, I can't go in there till the dustbin lorries come out because it's only a tiny yard. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the day brings. I might do a couple of shorts later because they seem to go well, especially the loading and tipping shorts. I'll try and get some footage of your man here. I'll speak to him, see if I can video him loading me, etc. I have to watch what I'm doing, obviously, because of the company's privacy, etc. Now I have got a drone. I've got a DJI drone, so at some stage I will throw that up so you get a better perspective of when I'm being loaded or I'm tipping, etc. We'll see. So there we go. Can I just thank you again? If you have subscribed, thank you, and if you've not, feel free. It doesn't cost you anything, and like I say, I want to push the channel out there a bit. If I get to 500 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway. Yeah, definitely. Let's aim for that. Let's aim for the first 500 and I'll do a giveaway. It's quite simple. If I get to 500 subscribers, I'll get my lad to pick one at random and you win a prize. I'm not sure what the prize will be yet, but it'll be something truck related for all you truck fans out there. Perhaps a WSI model or something. We'll see, because I've got a big collection at home, so we'll see. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to sit and enjoy my brew. And yeah, like I say, any comments or feedback, stick it down below, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers now.